Well, I was going to leave this until at least after the sorting and the pulling of parts for the 4th reconstitution for the end of March / April lot, beginning of April. Although it's not April yet. So we'll still call it the March lot, the 2nd March lot. I knew what I was getting into when it came to some of this lot, that some of the pieces were going to be old and a little faded, as we found out with the Beta 1 and the Galaxy Commander. But I'm usually pretty good at detecting non-Lego elements, and I didn't detect any in the Beta 1 and or the Galaxy Commander. However, my 4th reconstitution of this lot, again, it's not a bad, I mean, these are the elements that are not Lego. What are you gonna do? The other thing is I reconstituted, you can't see it right now, but I put all the minifigs over there, and I had to grab an air tank from my collection, a white air tank. The lot only came with one white air tank, but which is very odd because I still have at least 2 white minifigs-ish, and then 3 helmets still in the lot here. So that's at least 3 white minifigs, which we're no longer using. 1 yellow minifig, because there's 2 over there that were fully complete, and then a red minifig helmet. So that's a red minifig, and there's no pieces for that. Some of the pieces are really beat up, like you can see here, beat up beyond recognition, and 1 full Explorians guy and 2 helmet Explorians guy, but no other Explorians minifigs. So I think I got some over there on the wall. Not too many Explorians figs. It wasn't a theme that I collected a lot of, looking at garage sales and such. I wasn't that interested back when it came out at all. I did not buy 1 set new off the shelf Explorians. I will say this: when I started reconstituting and I started, I got other lots that came with Explorians, that I decided to try and build a few, and I said, ooh, this is actually a pretty good line. Lots of pieces. As I mentioned, I think I mentioned numerous times during my review, that it seemed to be an homage, shall we say, or at least a repeat or a building of Futuron, because it had the same white and black color scheme, except they used and dark blue, but also used trans neon green, which they used in M-Tron, which they used in Blacktron 2, which they used in a bunch of other places. So trans neon green showed up in at least 3 themes, 4, because again I'm looking at my RoboForce up there, 4, at least 4. Now Spyrius had trans dark blue and trans red, if I remember correctly. RoboForce had trans orange, neon orange, maybe, but also trans neon green. They used trans neon green a lot back in the day. But so this is where I'm sitting. So you can just kind of tell from the top that it didn't look like Lego. It's kind of like milky. And then the bottom, you can see there's absolutely nothing. I'll see if I can zoom in on that. There's nothing that says Lego or any kind of stamp. And it's the same thing with these guys. I mean, you just have to look at the top to realize that that's not Lego. And the 1x2 other tile, there's nothing inside that says Lego and or anything. It's just you can see some marks. So those don't even go into the bin of doom. Those go into the trash can. Now, if there was lots, I put them back in the bag and take them back to Valley Village. But I'm not getting it back together for 4 or 5 small parts. The other thing that was disappointing, and I knew this too, I can guarantee that this is a broken 1x4 hinge plate. I didn't find the other side, so it's gone. So that is going to go to bin of doom. Hello, bin of doom. So I wanted to leave this as a surprise, but I think people are actually seeing what this is going to be. The other thing that was rampant in this set, because whenever there was gray, light gray, they got light blay mixed in. So there's a lot of light blay and light gray. So here's the light gray. Thankfully this thing is here, but light gray, but also light blay, and these tires are completely wrong. So and they're light blade too. So I'm going to be pulling a lot of parts for this. A lot of the prints are wrong. A lot of nothing to do with Explorians, and nothing to do with Explorians, if I remember correctly. And I don't think this was Explorians, but I could be wrong. But I don't remember that being Explorians. But I do got the logos and the 2x2. So it's gonna be interesting to see what I actually have for Explorians, versus what I don't have for Explorians. So I'm gonna have fun. Oh, and also a light trans-light cockpit again. So that's 2 trans-light blue cockpits that I got in this lot. One was in the Beta 1, the Galaxy Commander, and one was in this Explorian ship. So I'll have to find another one for the dark blue. So I am going at it. Now again, a lot of these, fantastic. I don't believe this one's original, but it could be. But I don't remember this. This was like more of Space Police 1. And that one, I don't remember. And that one, right? Unitron, Spire, whatever. So I'm gonna have to find all the arrows that I need for this. Hope I have them all. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting rebuild now, because again, now I have to look for Mega Block and other crap that might be in here. So far, I think I wheedled out most of it as I was taking it apart. So I'm usually pretty good at when I'm taking used lots, and like I don't immediately roll into the collection until I give it a good thorough look. But I took it all apart. It does look like most of the pieces are here. What I was really concerned with was these guys, because I do not have a lot of these guys, and it actually takes me 10 years to find them, or thereabouts. But it has all 4 in here, so I have pretty good confidence I'll be able to reconstitute the rest of it, because those are those are the few pieces that I do not have readily available. I believe I have some more, but they're mixed in with the slope, which is in black across 5-6 bins right now. So again, something I should subsort at some point, but it hasn't happened yet. It's just 45, 33, and other miscellaneous. So at some point, because there's 5 or 6 bins of it, I will be subsorting that into better. But right now, it is what it is. So I actually made this video to keep you posted, because you know what I'm doing here. And I'm not disappointed, because again, the first 3, fantastic. And I haven't even started building this or pulling the parts yet. I just took the whole thing apart and, put it into the respective bins. The trans colors are some of them are completely wrong. There should not be any trans orange in here at all. It should be trans red, if I remember correctly. And the trans blue should not have that on it. I think I will be able to find, hopefully, fingers are crossed, that I'll be able to find those trans neon green and trans red and trans blue as necessary. We will see. That's all I can say. It's going to be a little more fraught than my previous reconstitutions. First of all, excuse me, I've only built this set once, maybe twice before in my life. I know I built it once because I did a review on it, but I might have built it before that, but I don't remember. So that's issue number 1. I don't have a lot of confidence with this set. I'm not experienced with this set, but I did a huge review on it back in the day. And then I also did a kind of an overview of 6880 to 6980 to 6989, and this set is one of those. So this set showed up in a few videos back in the day when I was doing all my reviews. And I remember liking it. Again, never having built it before. I remember that I think Explorians, out of all the themes, got a pretty short shrift for people didn't like it. Again, not like RoboForce, because that's more of an inside joke. I don't mind RoboForce at all. But a lot of people kind of skipped Explorians, even though the color palette, except for trans neon green, was identical to Futuron. As honestly, even you could take all of the trans neon green off, and every one of those sets would fit right into a Futuron. layout. They would. They have the same style, the same kind of building technique, just a lot newer and a lot newer pieces. So, in my opinion, anyway, so Explorians was Futron, except with transient green, and I really enjoyed it. But I found it to be very complicated. It's a very complicated set. This one, it's a really big set. It's like one of the biggest sets they ever put out. Not in piece count, but surface area. It's a big set. It's like Megacore Magnetizer, except Megacore that is bulky. And this thing's kind of looks like a skeleton, which is perfectly apt for Explorians. I think I mentioned that. The capital ship in Explorians looks like a skeleton, which I didn't mind. I would have changed a few things. I think I mentioned it. And I'll probably get back into it when I rebuild it. But I definitely would have changed a few things of the Explorians ship because there was some deficiencies, in my opinion. But still, for a capital ship, I mean, if you want to talk about capital ships and themes, I would have to say, Galaxy Explorer, Galaxy Commander, Cosmic Fleet Voyager, capital ships. But the M-Tron capital ship, if you want to call it that, was the second biggest because the Galaxy Explorer, the Megacore Magnet was the biggest. The second biggest, I can't remember the name of it because I don't care. It's my least favorite M-Tron set. Is the ship that came, the big one. It's my least favorite. It seemed the least inspired out of all the M-Tron. And M-Tron was a very, from me, my point of view, an extremely inspiring line because the vehicles could turn and that was fun. And the oh, for crying out loud, the small ship, not still a Recon Voyagers. They all get mixed up in my head. The particle ionizer, fantastic, one of the top 5. Easily top 5 favorite sets of all time. It's just a beautiful set. I'm not saying it's a Sat 5 from Ice Planet, but it's a beautiful, beautiful little set. It really is. But the capital ship in M-Tron is completely uninspired. It's bulky, it's blocky, it's bleh. And not to say it's bad, it's just out of the entire M-Tron theme, it's the worst. This guy is better than that. But this guy has some huge deficiencies, which we'll get into when I finish getting it built. And to get it built, I have to now do an inventory and verify, because of course I just thrown out a half a dozen Mega Block pieces that were used in here. And I have a whole bunch of printed pieces that I don't think belong in here. So I'm gonna, I got my work ahead of me to figure out what I am not gonna do, and I said the same thing on the Galaxy Commander, I am not going to substitute pieces. Some of the white is pretty yellowed, not as bad as my wing plates that I showed you earlier, but some of the pieces are pretty yellowed compared to like the 1x6s are well used. But there is no old pieces. There's no old 1x6 with no little tubes in the bottom. So overall, period correct pieces except for the Mega Block. And I'm going to keep an eye out for that too when I'm taking all the pieces and sorting them out into various piles. I am running out of my desk because, of course, I got these built sets here, which is fine. Benny, go over there. Emmett. So I'm going to start with black, obviously, because that's how Puron starts. I'm going to start making my piles. And we shall see. I'm going to have to pull I think I'm going to have to pull a lot of old gray parts, I think, just by looking at it, and getting the right tire sets, and some good old-fashioned printed parts. So I will get into it, and I will absolutely keep you guys posted. We'll see you on the flip side. Stay safe.